Welcome to Gifts for Impossible Men 2018. Now basically I don't mean the men are impossible. We love our men. You know, they have their quirks, but they're just lovable. That's all there is to it. But finding a gift for many of them is difficult. Especially if you've known them or been married to them for a lot of years. You've done it all. You've completely exhausted all of the socks and sweaters and hats and gloves. And, you know, there you have it. So anyway, I have tried very diligently to come up with some items that he hasn't thought about. Maybe he didn't even know existed. Maybe you didn't know existed. Just things that are useful, helpful. Some of them are as little as $6. Some of them go up to a little over a couple hundred. So just different things for different guys. You know your guy better than anybody, so just some of these things might fit, some might not, but let's just jump in because there's lots to cover. And I'm saving what I think is my very favorite to the end. I just love it, love it, love it. It's a great idea. So anyway, keep with me. Here we go. Let's get started. First off, I do want to mention on this first one, I think this is really cool. If your husband, man, father, boyfriend, whatever, if he at all loves to drink any kind of whiskey. So Scotch or bourbon, whichever one works great. I was sent these. The rest of it I was not. This is the only item that I was sent. Everything else I purchased myself. But this is a set of whiskey stones by Lord's Rocks. I think it's a really great idea. Let me show you what is involved real quickly. It comes in this beautiful pine box. Everything is very well protected. You get 2 crystal glasses. In the smaller set, they are more like shot glasses. These are more like drink-sized glasses that are crystal. You get a velvet pouch, and you get 8 of the stones. In the smaller group, you get 6 of the stones. Let me just quickly show you that. Once these have been chilled for 4 hours in your freezer, you put them as you would ice cubes into your whiskey, and it makes them the perfect temperature. It holds them the perfect temperature, and you don't get the ice melting into your drink, so it doesn't dilute the flavor of the whiskey. So if you have any guys in your life that are whiskey fans, either Scotch or bourbon or both, this is a fantastic idea, and I think anybody would be very pleased to get this if that type of thing is right up their alley. So I thank Lord's Rocks for showing those to me, and I can show them to you. Many of these gifts have to do with a guy who likes to work with his hands and do things around the house and so forth, because that's the kind of guys that I generally have to buy for. So those are the items that I know a lot about. This is a cute little doodad, and it is a magnetic wristband. My husband is always working on a car or two. He's always working on some sort of a project around the house, and he's misplacing screws and they roll away, and he's trying to find them and whatnot. This is a wristband you just wear on your wrist. Obviously it has magnets, very strong magnets all the way around it, and you can stick all of your screws and nuts and bolts and whatever you're working with at the moment. It just sticks right onto it, so you don't misplace them, they don't roll away, and you don't end up with less than you started with. So I think this is a great idea. Something I think every guy would love to have is a new pair of slippers, especially a very nice pair that's kind of more of a splurge type of a slipper, something he can wear constantly and be always tootsies, totally warm and snuggly. And these personally are my favorites. I like these right here. They have worked well for people that I have loved in my life, and I'm sure they will work well for your guy too. There are many different styles to choose from, but I do recommend these. These are good. So I really think that a good pair of slippers is always a great thing. Now these are interesting, and they're very inexpensive, and they come in a set of 10. Now this is something that you can definitely give your guy, and then you can he can give a few to his friends and buddies or co-workers or anything like that, or if you have several men in your life, they can each grab one of these. It's just a really smart idea, and it's so easy. The small little pouch, and like I say, there are 10 of them. They each contain this multi-use tool. This would fit in a credit card slot in his wallet. But this tool contains so much that it does. Let's see here. And it comes with a little thing here to show exactly what it works for. It is a can opener. It has a knife edge, a screwdriver, a ruler, a cap opener, like for a bottle cap, 4-position wrench for various size nuts and bolt heads, butterfly wrench, saw blade, direction ancillary indication. I don't even know what that is. 2-position wrench and lanyard hole or a key ring hole, so you could put it on your key ring, but it has a blade on it, so I'm not sure how well you'd like to do that. But it does have this lovely little pouch, and it slides right into a credit card slot in his wallet or somewhere easy like that. Tiny little thing. Very handy to have with them at all times, so you could put one in the glove compartment of your car, whatever. But it's really cute that these are very inexpensive, and you get a set of 10. Give them away. Give them to all your friends and neighbors. You know, really good. So check these out. I think that's a really cool idea. Do you have a guy who always wants to know how things were made and how, you know, how did that get put together, and he wants to take everything apart and figure it out? Yeah, I do. I have one of those, and I thought this book was so cool. The Hidden World Inside Everyday Objects is a book called Cut in Half, and the actual book cover is cut in half, so you can sort of see how the binding was made. This person has a very popular YouTube channel, and his channel is called Cut in Half. And so basically he cuts things in half, which makes sense, right? And so you get to see exactly what different household items or, you know, things that you've normally seen, like inside a touch-tone telephone. He cuts items in half, and then you can see exactly what it's made of. So I think this is good for anybody who's interested in how things are put together, how things are made, and so forth. So a lot of different things to look through, a lot of different information. It even has a laptop computer. It shows everything that's in there when it's been cut in half. So it's just kind of a cute extra little something to give someone who's curious about all those kind of things. And here's a really cool idea for that guy who wants to listen to his music all the time, but he wants to be wearing a hat and he's got to deal with the cords and all that kind of stuff. This is an actual hat that has a wireless music system in it. It's got 5 hours of music playback, 8 hours of talk time. You can talk on the phone, 60 hours of standby time. It is called the Soundbot. And this is a beanie type of a cap. These are actually the buttons to operate, to answer your phone or whatever, and to operate your music. Easy access through a USB charging port. Plop on your hat and use your little things. And you're warm and you're listening to your music. So if you have a guy who works outside or something, this would be fantastic, I think. So just another cute idea that I'm sure he's never had before. Do you know how I go on and on about Barefoot Dreams cardigans and beanie hats and so forth? Well, I found some socks for men that are made out of that same Barefoot Dreams material. They are smushy and wonderful. They have top ratings. So good. So if your guy would like some fuzzy socks, and he will absolutely fall in love with them, I guarantee it, this is the one to try because it's Barefoot Dreams, and oh my gosh, they are amazing. If you have a guy that does a lot of things around the house or works on cars and things like that, and he might not be the youngest anymore, I've got 1 or 2 or 3 of those. This socket wrench set thing, the sockets, they have many different sizes of these things. This is one of the smaller sets, but my husband loves them because, as you can see, they're easy to read. They've got a large, let me see if I can get one off here. They very largely tell you there what size it is. Can you see that on there? In the real world, you can see it very easily. But that's very handy when you're working on a project and you're trying to find the right one and you're trying to grab it and so forth. You just see it immediately and you know which one to grab. My husband loves these, so I recommend those completely. Another crazy tool that he came to me and he said, oh, if you're gonna add these to your video, you may as well add these too because I really love them. And this is what he handed me. It's the set of their picks. It looks like a screwdriver handle, but they have different, you know, various pick abilities. So they just, and I'm like, okay, a set of picks, what do you use them for? He's like, oh, everything. I'm all the time grabbing these. I love them, and I don't know anybody else who even has them. And so these are some of the things he said he uses them for. To pull up rubber O-rings, to clear paint out of screw heads, to pull back car panels. Yes, he actually takes the panels off of the inside of cars and wires stuff and puts them back. That's just the way my husband is. So if you have a man who would like to pick at anything at all, think maybe it would work with his job or any of his hobbies, this apparently is a fabulous, fabulous set to have. So I will link this down below because I did finally find it somewhere. Another item he's always using, and he just says he doesn't ever want to be without, and it's also quite inexpensive, is a telescoping magnet. He's always dropping a tool, or, you know, he probably won't now with that magnetic wristband, who knows. But he's always wanting to pick something up that's like in the engine or grab something, and this just telescopes to a long stick, and he can get in there into tight spots and pick up whatever he dropped, a nail, a screw, whatever. So he says he uses this all the time, and I believe him. since he is in the garage all the time and working on cars and so forth, and I don't know if you have a guy who's working on stuff in the garage too, but generally speaking, they like their area to be fairly clean, or even if they don't, maybe they should have it a little bit cleaner. So here are two like garage tool things that you can easily attach to the walls of the garage, inside the garage, and you can stack your tools in here. This one is a tool organizer, and you put rakes and like long handled tools in those holes, and they keep them out of the way, they don't fall over, and it's much neater and nicer. And another item very similar to that is the tool tamer, and it's for smaller type of things, and you can shove that in there and put, you know, extension cords or hoses and stuff you can wrap around there too. So both of those extremely handy. I promise you, you will not regret those because it really makes things much nicer. You always know where your tool is when you want to grab it, and it keeps it in place. So those are both very good ideas. My guy is a car guy. In case you didn't know, he loves his cars and he loves working on them. And he also loves following Jay Leno, who happens to be a car guy as well. Jay Leno has so many cars, an enormous place that he houses them. He works on them. He actually knows what he's doing, and he doesn't just collect, he works on them. So Jay Leno now has a 5-piece car care set. And it's basically 5 16-ounce bottles, so you get one of each of, I'm reading here, make sure I get it. We've got the vehicle wash, the glass cleaner, the quick detailer, the tire and trim care, and the interior detail. So that is fantastic because you have all your little pieces there. It comes in a set. It's Jay Leno, you gotta like him, and he does truly know what he's doing when it comes to cars. So I have a man in my life who's going to be getting that set for Christmas, and I think it's a great idea. So check that one out too. So keeping your garage and your cars and the garage floor and so forth clean and neat is no fun thing to do. And to drag the vacuum out there and vacuum out your car and so forth is no fun at all. And so many times people go up to those things outside of car washes where they drag the big hose in there and clean it off. Well, wouldn't it be neat to have one of those in your own garage? I think so, yes. So I found a highly rated by Hoover vacuum. It's a utility vac that attaches to the wall of your garage. It comes with 7 tools to be able to do all the things with the crevices and your car upholstery and your floors and everything you could possibly want to do when you vacuum out your car or you vacuum out areas of your garage. And it, like I said, it attaches to the wall. It's the simplest thing ever. It doesn't take up space anywhere. And it's very, very cool. So I will definitely link that below. I think it sounds like a really good idea, and the people that I know who have one absolutely love it. Now, if you have a man that cooks, I personally don't, but if you do, not only are you a lucky person, but you obviously know that he probably likes to grill or maybe cook over a campfire, and those kind of things are fun for him too. These items I use all the time and I wouldn't want to be without, so I'm sure that your guy would love them too if he's a cooker. If he's a cook. Both of these items are from the brand Lodge, and if you know the brand Lodge at all, they're cast iron, they're amazing, they're pre-seasoned, I love them. So this is the pan that I love so much. It's called a grill baker / baker. I mean, it's like a, I've seen it called, you know, different things, but grill / baker is the one that I see the most. And it is just this round, large, plattery type of a very heavy cast iron pan with handles. You can use this on the grill. I've made bacon on it. I many times roast potatoes, like chopped up, you know, chunked up potatoes with veggies. You can definitely do, like I said, vegetables. You could make pancakes on the grill or on an open fire. Anything that you need a flat surface for works, and it turns your grill or your open fire into a griddle basically, and it's big enough for a lot of food, bacon to be spread way out, things like that, a lot of meat, whatever you want to put on there. It works beautifully well, and I use this one all the time. And then if you don't think that's his thing, but just cooking in general is, this is my jumbo, I believe it's 15-inch cast iron pre-seasoned skillet. This thing will be with me forever. And after me, it'll be with my children, that type of thing. These things are made forever, and they last and last and last. Hundreds and hundreds of years, literally. It just is such a nice pan for anything. You don't have to have a ton of food in it. It still works perfectly well, even if you have 3 pork chops. But because it is so big, you can use it for smaller amounts or larger amounts. So I think this is one of my very favorites. Also very, very good. So I think your guy would love those if he loves to cook, especially over fire. Okay, now we are at the very last item that I think is the coolest thing ever, and I plan to definitely take part in this one. I found a website that offers classes given by very famous people about what they do. There are over 35 class options to sign up for, taught by these famous people, and I mean, how cool is that, really? And there are 24 lessons per class on average, so that's, you know, you have quite a bit of stuff to learn, and each class lasts about 12 minutes on average. So you can do it all on your own time, you can do it on your own laptop at home, you can do it at your own pace. All the classes are taught by these famous people. Let me give you examples. Okay, Dan Brown teaches writing thrillers. Annie Leibovitz teaches photography. Tom Morello, electric guitar. Gordon Ramsay, various cooking classes. Helen Mirren, acting. Stephen Curry, basketball shooting, ball handling, scoring. Ron Howard, directing. Martin Scorsese, filmmaking. James Patterson, writing. Steve Martin, comedy. Samuel L. Jackson, acting. There are so many others. Some more people are Mark Jacobs, Reba McEntire, Usher, Dr. Jane Goodall. There are so many options here, and they teach classes about, you know, what they know. So a single class is $90. So for that $90, you get approximately 24 classes, each approximately 12 minutes long, to do at your own pace, at your own time. So let's say your husband or someone that you love is very into electric guitar. Well, wouldn't he love to know tips and tricks from Tom Morello? He's the one on here, he's the guy teaching the electric guitar. So, or cooking from Gordon Ramsay. I mean, seriously, I think Gordon has several different things too, cooking ones. So many good things, directing, filmmaking, comedy, basketball, classes taught by these guys. I mean, they're videotaped classes, obviously. But how cool is that? Now, it is $90 a class, so, you know, it's not inexpensive, but that's just for one class. Now, if you see several things in here that you would, you know, you can't choose, and you're willing to spend the extra money for double that, $180, you can get a whole year of all access to all the classes. That's really cool, because this is stuff that will stay with you. I mean, you're learning things from these people, and if your interest is photography, wouldn't you love to have a class by Annie Leibovitz? I mean, seriously, she's amazing. So I just think that is the coolest thing, and I'm really excited about it, and I think that everyone could find something. These people that I mentioned aren't the only ones, so there are more. I linked the website down below. Click on it, see what you think. I think that is a really great idea, and for $90 for one class, that's worth it, in my opinion. It's something different that the person will basically have with them forever, because whatever they learn, they'll be doing and keeping with them forever. Or the $180 full year access. They can get so much learning done, and so it's your gift will just keep on giving, and it's just, I think, really, really special. So those are my gift ideas for impossible men, or impossible to buy for anyway. We love them, what can I say? Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Happy gift giving. Bye.